by the line y is equal to 4 minus x. So let's sketch these two graphs. Right, so here we have a circle, x squared plus y squared is equal to 16. So we're dealing with the standard form x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. It's in standard form, so we are interested in the right hand side of this equation. So we know that r squared is 16. Okay, so r is equal to the square root of 16, the positive square root of 16, okay, which is going to equal to positive 4 units. Normally we take both plus or minus, but in this case radius is a distance from the center to any point on the circumference, so we only take the positive. Alright, so let's sketch the circle. Alright, so we have a radius from here to here that will be 4, 4, minus 4 and minus 4. Right, so now what else? The straight line. The straight line we have y is equal to 4 minus x. So this is in the form y is equal to mx plus c. That is your straight line. What do we need to find here? X-intercepts and the y-intercept. Okay. So our x-intercept, if we let y equal to 0, so 0 is equal to 4 minus x, so therefore x is equal to 4. Your y-intercept, I'll let x equal to 0, so 4 minus 0, y is also equal to 4. Right, so we already have our points 4 and 4 there. Let's sketch our straight line. Right, so now there are two areas. We got the larger area and then we have the smaller area. So the question states, sketch the smaller area cut off from the circle. So we are only interested in the smaller area, which is this part here. So that is the smaller area. So now we have a choice whether we're going to use delta x or delta y. Okay, it's up to you in the exam. What are we going to use? We use delta x for now. Okay, let's choose delta x. Right, so we need to sketch the graph, show the representative element, label the coordinates of the centroid of your representative elements. Don't forget, there are two graphs now. Okay, so the coordinates of the centroid of the representative elements, I showed you yesterday two graphs, so this will be x, and the y coordinates will be y1 plus y2 all divided by 2. Okay, we're dealing with two graphs, the midpoint. So now, let's call this the top graph, and this one will be the bottom graph. Let's label our graphs. The circle was x squared plus y squared is equal to 16. Your straight line is y is equal to 4 minus x. So now we need to call one graph y1, the other graph will be y2. Let's call this one y1, so this will be x1 here. So if this is y2, that will be x2. Alright, that's your 2 marks. Sketch the graph, label it properly. We didn't leave out anything. The graphs intersect at 4, 0, 0, 4. It's already here. We don't have to go and work it out. Okay. So now, that was the first question. Second question is, calculate this area. Right, so calculate the area. So delta A. So now, we are dealing with 2 graphs. It's the area of the top graph minus the area of the bottom graph. So, it's clear that at this point, y will be greater, so this is the top graph. So the top graph is the circle. What did we label the circle as? y1 or y2? y1. So we're going with top, which is y1. So it's going to be y1 minus y2. That's your length times the breadth there, which is delta x. Right. So now, total area. Right, so remember you need to write down the area of the representative element. You do not put any integration sign here. Okay, only when you write down the formula for total area, that's when you put in your integration sign. So that will be, remember it's delta x, so it will be b and a. y1 minus y2, there's your dx. This is a compulsory step. You must write this down. Okay, now, if we are using dx, then we need the x values. Okay. What are the x values? Where does the area begin? Where does the area end? What is the x value at where it begins? Here's the x value here. What is x here at this point? 0, and x at the end is 4. So it will be 4 and 0. Alright, so y1 minus y2. What is y1? What do we have there? We have x squared plus y squared is equal to 16. This is y1. We need to make y1 the subject of the formula. So we got y1 squared is equal to 16 minus x squared. So therefore, y1 is equal to the square root of 16 minus x squared. Okay. Now, let's substitute. So that will be the square root of 16 minus x squared minus y2. What is y2? y2 is 4 minus x. Now we need to integrate. So how do we integrate the square root of 16 minus x squared? This is simple to integrate 4 and minus x. But how do we integrate this? What technique are we going to use here? We need to remember integration by completing the square. There are no exact derivatives here. Okay, this is integration by completing the square. So, let's write it out. And it's almost completed there. You can see that. All you have to do is rewrite 16 as 4 squared. So that's 4 squared minus x squared, and this is minus 4, and that will be plus x. So now, you need to go to your formula sheets. You have to remember what to do when you come to these to this stage. Anything can come out. It depends on the graph. So what are we looking for? we are looking for the square root of a squared minus b squared x squared dx. You have to know where to find it quickly. Right, so that is integration by completing the square. A squared minus b squared x squared. So now, you go to your formula sheets. The formula is a squared, so that will be 4 squared all over 2 times b. What is b here in this case? b is 1. Inverse sine bx over a, so that will just be x over 4 plus x over 2 times the square root of 16 minus x squared. Go to your formula sheets, it's there. So here we need to integrate minus 4, which will be minus 4x. We will integrate x, that will be x squared over 2. And then we need to substitute 4 and 0. So now we are dealing with, this is an inverse trig function. This is just a normal function, no trigonometry involved here. Okay, but here it's definitely involved. So, what must you remember to do now when you are using your calculator for this type of substitution? Your calculator must be in radians. Okay, so you change your calculator to radians and let's work out the area. Let me give you 1 minute to do that. This problem takes long. You've got no time to waste. Substitute your 4 there. So that will be 16, that will be 8 times pi over 2 there. That's a 0, that will be minus 16 plus 8. Minus, substitute 0, we're going to get 0. Okay. So that becomes 4 pi minus 8. Work out 4 pi minus 8 there quickly. Read out the full answer for me. 37? 614 units squared. Did we get that? Yes. Okay. Let's pause that now. Right, so that was the second question. Calculate the area. Now, show that the x and y coordinates of the centroid of this area are equal. So, let's start with x. So what do we want to prove here? We want to prove that x is equal to y. The x coordinate of the centroid of the area is equal to the y coordinate of the centroid. That's what we want to prove. Let's start finding the left hand side, which is x. So, if we want to work out the x coordinate of the centroid, so x is given by the formula my over a. You take moments about the y-axis. Okay, so now we already have a for area. We need to work out the moment about the y-axis. So delta my, the moment about the y-axis is equal to area, which is delta a times the distance of the coordinate of the centroid from the y-axis. So let's go there. What is the distance from the y-axis? the distance from the y-axis is x. If it was the distance from the x-axis, it will be y1 plus y2 over 2. Right, so be careful there. Distance from the y-axis is x. What is area? We're just going to extract our information from there. Area is y, what did we use? y1. y1 minus y2 times delta x, that's length times breadth, multiplied by the distance there. Okay. So now let's work out the total moments. It's the same, delta x, that means we're integrating from b to a, y1 minus y2, multiplied by x, and there's my dx. Right, let's substitute. B and A, same B and A. What was my B and A? B and A was 4 and 0. Y1 minus Y2. There's my Y1 minus Y2. Y1 is the square root of 16 minus x squared minus Y2. What was Y2? 4 minus x. So that is my y1 minus y2, and it is multiplied by x. Okay. So what must we do? We can't just integrate these because we have to multiply out first. Can you see that? You must simplify first and then you integrate second. Simple multiplication. So we're going to multiply x by the first term there. So it will be the square root of 16 minus x squared times x. Let me just remove the bracket one time. That will be minus 4 times x, which will be minus 4x. Minus times minus will be a plus, so that will be plus x squared. Okay, so now to integrate. This is simple and that is simple. The problem is here. We need to remember all our types from N5. What type is this? How do we integrate this here? Compare it to there. There it was integration by completing the square. But now it's no more integration by completing the square. What makes it different? The fact is x is outside there. Can you see that? So how are we going to deal with this here? It's our u substitution. Remember type A from N5. Alright, this is type A. So this is 16 minus x squared to the power half, f of x to the power n multiplied by x there, your derivative. Okay, and then we got our minus 4x plus x squared. So when we integrate here, we're dealing with type A, B, C, D, exact derivatives. So we always let u equal to f of x. In this case, what is my f of x? Your f of x is 16 minus x squared. So you might obviously want to separate it first. Okay, you can do that. I'm going to use inspection here, but you know what to do. You're going to find du dx. You're going to make dx the subject of the formula. Okay. So what will happen? Let's see. Alright, so after you do all your substitution, this is what you're going to get. We'll have minus 1 over 2, 16 minus x squared, half plus 1 will be 3 over 2, all divided by 3 over 2. I'm just using inspection there. Okay. So here we integrate minus 4x. That will be minus 4x squared over 2. Integrate x squared. That will be x to the power 3 over 3. We're substituting 4 and 0. So you need to take out your calculator. Substitute. Let's see what we get here. I'm just going to simplify this. I'm dividing by 3 over 2. It's the same as multiplying by 2 over 3. So 2 and 2 will cancel. I'll end up with minus 1 over 3. Then I got my 16 minus x squared to the power 3 over 2 minus 2x squared plus 1 over 3 x cubed. That's 4 and 0. Alright, so let me give you 2 minutes. Let's work. Use your calculator now. We don't need to convert our calculator to radians, yeah? But if it is already in radians, it's fine. We're still going to get the same answer.